If you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and become part of this community. Oh, and also, go cop that fresh merch and listen to my new album in the description. The rollout for Donda 2 is still in the process right now, and we're getting more and more info on this album every day, and also, on the fact whether this is actually going to drop on the 22nd or not. Now, we did have a release listening party privately for Donda 2 the other day that, many famous people attended and also featured artists on Donda 2. For example, we saw Young Lean there, we saw Travis Scott there, Baby Keem and Drake, among others. Also Fabio Foreign and the Migos were spotted there. So those people are already confirmed to be on Donda 2, and that event made people more confident in the fact that he's actually going to come through with it on the day that he was, supposed to come through. And I'll make another video talking about my own opinion, whether I think that this is actually going to drop on the 22nd or not, and over all the information we have concerning this. But today I want to focus on one specific new announcement from Kanye that really, got me more and more confident that this is actually gonna come on the day that he promised. And that is this one. This is the announcement for a public release listening party, just like the ones we had for the first Donda in the summer of 2021. This again shows the set of his childhood home being set on flames, just like the one we saw on the announcement for Donda 2, and also on, during that release party back in the summer of 2021 that he held in Chicago, the one right before Donda, the Donda 1 dropped. So this is again playing on that theme, and if people see this image, they're immediately going to think of the release party back in the summer of 2021. So this, does allude to that quite a lot. But let's actually look at the caption that he had for this announcement. He said, Donda 2. February 2nd, 2022. Again, this, y'all said that it had some astrological meaning, the 2-2-2-2-2-2. Now, if you know anything more about that, please let me know. But y'all said that it would really make sense for him to drop that day because of this meaning of all the twos. And if he doesn't drop that day, then that wouldn't really make a whole lot of sense. But as I said, I'll go into that in another video. But also he said, Lone Depot Park Stadium, Miami, on sale Monday at noon. So he does again plan on doing one of these release listening parties for the public, since he says that they're on sale. So he's going to sell tickets for this event, and people then can come buy the tickets and see, the album being played during this event. Now, I think this is going to be a lot like it was last year, with people then, giving us some snippets of what was played and him doing these crazy performances with these crazy sets. We've seen actually features come out during the release parties, and I'm just interested in what sets he's going to have this time around, because we already saw him do the childhood home being set on fire during the first release parties for the first Donda 1. So if this is the image he's using to even promote all of the second Donda, then I'm just going to be interested in what this new release party is going to have in store for us. I do believe that we're going to see some more of these until the album actually comes out. The album is scheduled on February 22nd, as I already said, but that, that is a Tuesday. And if he says that the tickets are on sale on Monday, then, the show might also happen on Monday or Tuesday, and then he would have another week still to put out another show until the album actually drops on the 22nd. The way he used those release parties back in 2021 for the first Donda was, to me, a genius marketing move, because for a couple of weeks Donda was the only thing that anybody talked about, also mainstream media, because he just played those release parties perfectly. Everybody thought it was going to drop after the first one happened, and then they just happened again and again, up until to the point that people were like, okay, we're just going to get a couple of these. But then at that point where people were starting to lose interest, that was the point where he dropped the first Donda. Even if it was a bit messy, he said that they released it without his permission, but still, to me, those release parties were one of the crucial parts why Donda was received so well and so positively, and also why, to me, it is one of Kanye's best records, all in all together, just artistically. And it always had that mysterious flair to it, also thanks to those release parties. So I hope that some of that can be recreated on the second Donda. It is, of course, still a very big mystery on what this album is going to sound like. He does, have that gospel aspect in there again, but then also it's executive produced by Future. So I think we're going to see a blend of that gospel sound of the first Donda and then of the trap sound that Future might bring to the table. He's only executive producing it, so that doesn't have to mean that he's actually getting trap producers in the studio with Kanye, but that does mean that a lot of influence, getting on this album is going to pass through Future, who, has a different lens of looking at things as Kanye might have. It's still funny to me that Kanye is giving up this job to Future when he's done that so successfully himself over the past couple of years. But, I guess it's just something that he decided was the best for this album. So Kanye said this is the best decision for his album, then I trust him with this. It's also not sure why this is taking place in Miami. The, last release party we've had was it started in Atlanta, which, Kanye was born in that city, and then it ended in Chicago. So obviously the place where he was raised at and the city that really, made him and that he's referenced on a lot of tracks already and just, part of his whole identity. But then Miami, that's not really a city that is, that present in his whole life. So not really sure why that is happening in that city. For the first Donda, it made sense. It started out in Atlanta, ended up in Chicago, just like Kanye for his own life. This one, I don't even think it has any connection to his mother either, so the person who this album is named after. So still quite a mystery why this is taking place in Miami, but I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see. It's also gonna be interesting to see if the features that we already have confirmed from that private release listening party are also gonna appear at this new one that is now taking place in Miami, because if those people that we saw at Nobu and Malibu at that private listening party, if they're actually going to also be there at the public event and going to perform their features for the thousands of fans watching, that would be amazing, because I already listed them, but Young Lean, Travis Scott, Baby Keem, and then also Drake and Fabio Foreign as well confirmed to be on here. So if those people, if he does bring them out at the release party, then that'll be a huge event. I think Kanye has really modernized and revolutionized this idea of these release parties, because before that, artists had release parties, but they were just like them hanging out somewhere and listening to the album with fans. This though, these stadium release parties, I think can also be a new way to experience music, because fans do get a perfect glance and vision into what the artist is actually thinking and what the artist has in mind when creating the album, because they're right there seeing the sets that the artist picked to go with their music, and also seeing how the artist wanted to visually conceptualize what they're making. So Kanye, new release party, Miami. Sale starts on Monday. Still not sure when exactly the show is going to be, whether it's going to be directly on Monday or on Tuesday, but the album is dropping a week after, so it does seem like it's leading up into that. That's all the news we have on Donda 2. If anything more happens, I'll be sure to keep y'all updated, so stay subscribed, and all the things that I just said and went over are, of course, just my opinion and my thoughts. Now I want to know what you think about this. Are you excited for this release party happening in Miami? Why do you think it's happening in Miami? When do you think Donda 2 will actually drop? Is it going to be the 22nd or still later on? And if so, why? All of that, let me know in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and y'all take care.